Beautiful. 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 That's beautiful. Well, welcome everybody to Sunday service at Sacred Space Spiritual Center. We're very happy to have everybody here today. I'd like to thank Rebecca Shepard, Victoria Shepard, and David Alm for the wonderful music that we've heard so far and that we'll hear again throughout the rest of the service today. So let's do our opening blessing song first.
No, we say this song, you just do your blessing.
Okay, one would think this is my first time up here. Spirit, thank you so much for bringing us together today, helping us to love, serve, and remember who we are and who each of the others of us are in this room. Let us have the courage today to listen to the words that you're bringing forth and to act on those words, to let go of those things that no longer serve us in this life. We thank you for being with us. We are so grateful. And so it is.
Now we're going to do a congregational.
Now we're going to do a thing.
We're going to sing a congregational
We're going to
song.
sing a congregational song. One A would think this is my first time up here, and B, I can't read. Either way.
Okay, we're good to go.
All right.
So, we're going to do a song. Some of you may remember this song. Some of you may have never even heard it before. Who remembers John Denver?
Oh, God, yes. I think she knows it.
Awesome.
She may
Of
know
course,
this.
the song Rocky Mountain High now takes on a whole new meaning in Colorado.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised you're the one that came up with that.
I'm sure I didn't. I probably heard somebody
No, I
say
mean,
it.
I'm surprised you're the one sitting up here that said that.
Now, why is that exactly?
It's a joy, a spiritual high.
Yes. Yes.
Just surrender. Just surrender.
I'm surrendering. I'm letting it go.
Let it go. Let it
All
go.
right, so as you get your gift ready for Sacred Space, we appreciate anything that you give to us financially, or did I miss something, Patricia?
I just forgot to tell you, I put the announcements
That's
up.
all. Thank you. We appreciate whatever you put into our basket, whether it's actual money or whether it's love. Any of that we appreciate. So, I don't know, I really feel like I'm off. I haven't been here for 2 weeks, and it feels like it's been 2 years, I will tell you.
Wow.
It does.
I think it would feel like that if I was gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then these last 2 weeks I've been feeling sort of out of sync. Yeah, I don't like it much. But anyway, that's how it is. All right, so we are a membership organization, and if you're interested in becoming a member of Sacred Space, we have frequently asked questions and a form, an application that you can fill out that's up in the back by the door. So feel free to take one of those and to look at the frequently asked questions. Here at Sacred Space, on May 30th, we have the Oregon Psychic Reality Healing Circle with Brenda Watts.
On the
That's free
20th.
of charge. What?
Did you say the 20th?
I think I said the 30th.
Yeah, it's the 20th. Thank you.
Okay, so this is how my morning's gone. Not that it's been bad at all. It hasn't. But I was getting ready and all, to come, putting makeup on and everything. And I could tell that Spirit was really working with me because I started getting really, really, really hot. Really hot. Now, this is not hot flash hot, which I also get occasionally. This was just really hot. So I'd have to stand in front of the fan for a little bit to try to cool off. Then I walk and put my talk in my purse, and I think I need to get my glasses because I don't have any glasses in my purse. And so I could have sworn to you that I walked right over in that second and put my glasses in my purse. But just as I went to look for my glasses earlier, they are not in my purse. So I just apologize. So thank you very much for the. So you may see me doing something with my paper. Who knows? All right. Anyway, back to work. On May 20th, the Oregon Psychic Reality Healing Circle with Brenda Watts will be here on May 20th. It doesn't say what time. Oh, at 6 p.m. It does say what time. See, glasses would be helpful. At CFIA, so that's upstairs, on May 31st from 1 to 4 is Mercury retrograde. What are they? And this is an astrology workshop by Mary Jo Weavers, who has a PhD. She's a Jungian karmic astrologer. I actually had her do my chart. It was very, very interesting. Told me a lot of things that I knew, but she doesn't know me. I had never really met her until the day that she came over with my chart. So anyway, it was really interesting and talked to me kind of where my path was and what I was supposed to be doing while I'm here on Earth this time. And anyway, it's really interesting. But you can learn about the astrological meaning of the planet Mercury, retrograde movements of planets and their significance, what happens during a Mercury retrograde. And I think we've all heard, well, Mercury's in retrograde, that's why we're having all these difficulties.
For the next year and a half, actually.
Oh, that's the problem. Well, if you would have asked me, I would have said Mercury has been in retrograde for me for about the last 50 years. So, anyway, find out how you can take advantage of these planetary phases and integrate them into your life. And so that's really what that's what her purpose is, to help you move through these processes and actually live a better life. That's really her goal. So receive specific information for the 3 Mercury retrogrades in 2014 and how you can best align with the energies they bring to support you. The cost for this is $35, and for more information you can contact Mary Jo. And we have a phone number here, but we likely have a flyer or something up somewhere. But if you need the phone number, let me know, or Patricia know, or just ask anybody. Somebody probably knows it. And then this Wednesday, Patricia is giving service at Night of the Mystics. She is going to be talking about astral travel and out-of-body experiences.
I hope I'll be here.
Well, if you could spend like tutorial time with me, I could be here. Because otherwise I won't be. And we'd like to thank Lynn Baker, who supplies us with the goodies that we have every Sunday.
My pleasure.
So if anybody else is interested in bringing goodies, please feel free to do so.
Yes, please.
And okay, so for the giving, I knew I was doing something wrong. Well, okay, it's nothing ever is wrong. It was just out of sync. So if you would, put in your hands whatever you put in the basket, whether it was actual dollars or love. Put that in your hands and feel that growing and being a part of you, being blessed, blessing you and your life with whatever it is that you gave to Sacred Space. That helps Sacred Space continue to grow and expand and bring light to the world, to bring acceptance to the world, to bring healing to the world. And so it is. Okay, so we have special music, beautiful song. Is that good?
Yes. And as you can see, oh no, the slide's not up there yet. I just didn't want anybody to be disappointed when I don't go, let it go, let it go, right? We're not gonna do that, not today. We are gonna let go, but we're not gonna do let it go.
Okay,
We're nothing for Frozen,
okay.
just letting you know, okay? Just giving you the heads up if you were expecting Frozen.
Well, I know somebody that knows the composer for
Oh,
Frozen.
cool,
Yes.
cool, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So when are we going to meet?
I said I know somebody who knows. I didn't say I knew.
Okay, all right, here we go. Life is not always easy. There are highs and there's lows. There are choices to be made and things we must let go. There's a point when forgiveness is its own reward, and compassion cuts right through anger's bitter sword. Some people hold on forever to all the hurts of the past, but that life is not for me. My heart wants to be free, so I'll let go as love enfolds me. Let go and by grace to come on in, and I am still. The light of spirit shines upon me. I am the place where love and peace begin. Oh yes, the love now enfolds me. I have found that grace of God within, and in the stillness the light of spirit shines upon me. I found the place where love and peace begin. Oh yeah, we are the place where love and peace begin.
Lovely, thank you so much. Well, as you know, today our topic is let go, or letting go, or even let it go, whatever it is that we need to let go. One of the things that I know that I've noticed in my own life is that when I'm really comfortable in something, even if it's a negative something, it's hard to let it go, because you know what that is. Even though it's negative, you know what it is, and so it's not, you don't have to be fearful, I guess, about what the next thing might be, because you don't know it, but you do know this. And so as I was standing here listening to that music, it occurred to me that we all have our comfort places, right? Which that wasn't the new thing. But the new thing that occurred to me was that I'm going to ask everyone to get up and sit in a different seat.
Okay.
Up, different
All
seat.
right.
Move around now. You'll go to the place I usually sit.
If you always sit in the back, come to the front. Am I a radical?
Yeah, I love it.
So how uncomfortable was that?
It was so uncomfortable I could hardly find a seat.
Well, for you, because you're always in the back.
This is true.
Yes, yes. But anybody else, did it seem uncomfortable to, now Pam, you didn't move much. You're not in the same seat, that's correct. Yes, yes, that's correct.
And my
I'm
view
sorry.
is all different, thanks to everybody else.
Yes. The camera can't see you though, so they don't know who I'm talking about.
Well, it's a different energy.
Yeah.
I noticed that I usually sit on the left-hand side,
Uh-huh.
and it's just a different energy. So it's not uncomfortable, but I'm noticing the difference.
I actually initially was gonna have anybody over here sit over here, and anybody over here sit over here, because that's what I've noticed, is that I typically sit over on this side, although over here, I don't know, maybe I split that up. But it seems like there's a group of people that sit on this side and a group of people that sit on that side. And why is that? Why did we do that? Right, the folks that choose. The bride and the groom. Okay, perfect segue, because I found this poem. I wasn't sure I was gonna work it in, so that's great. Okay, oops.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I'll pay you after. Okay, it's called the happy virus. I caught the happy virus last night when I was out singing beneath the stars. It is remarkably contagious, so kiss me. Oh no, I read that and I love that. I thought, no, the next time I meet a guy that I think is really attractive, I'm going to tell him this next poem. Okay, so anyway, well, thank you so much for doing that, because I know that it is. I mean, first of all, even if you're not sitting in the same seat that you generally always sit in, you do get comfortable in that seat for this service period, right? If you're a lady, typically you have a person, so that's under your seat, and maybe you have your coffee. So now you're having to gather all of that up in order to move, right? So I do appreciate everybody doing that with such grace. But that is really what it's like when we're needing to let go of something. It's uncomfortable. We have to pick all of our stuff up and we have to move. And that's, I think, sometimes what really prevents us from doing it. Is because, wow, really? Do I really have to do that? That's just a little more work. And again, going back to that uncomfortable feeling that we have sometimes that we're willing to live with. Well, okay, I know what this is. I don't know what that is if I pick up and move over there. But the fact is, it's that movement that helps us to flow through life. Making those movements, recognizing that, wait a minute, it's time to move. I'm kind of stuck here, and, you know, I can stay here, that's my choice. But, you know, my soul, if my soul wasn't wanting me to move, I wouldn't even be thinking about the fact that I might be stuck here or that I'm experiencing this thing over and over again, right? That's our soul prompting us to make a move. So I've kind of come up with a series, and this really needs, I'm hoping that this is a really interactive service today with everyone. So the first question that I want you to think about, and then I have a little quote, is what is it that you want most in life? So think about that. And the quote is from Sarah Van Brethneck. She wrote the book Simple Abundance. Usually, when the distractions of life deplete our energy, the first thing we eliminate is the thing we need most. Quiet, reflective time. So, how many people think that's true? Okay, in their own lives, I mean. Time to dream, time to contemplate what's working and what's not, so that we can make changes for the better. So when you think about what it is that you want most in life, is it really what you're working for every day? You know, and I know for myself it isn't. I would like it to be. And it's becoming more and more of my focus. But, you know, in general, it's not. But really, you know, why not? Why is it that I'm resisting letting go and stepping into what it is that I want most in life? And if I'm following my heart, then I'm following the inspiration that the universe is giving me of where I need to go. And so, you know, again, for me, as I look at it for myself, it's really about resistance. I'm resisting this for some reason. I'm eliminating all of these things, but I'm not eliminating the things that really help me step into what it is that I want most in life. So just think about that for a moment, and in your own experience, what you're eliminating and how that is actually helping you achieve what it is that you want most in life, or how it's not helping you do that. Everybody's got really serious looks on their faces. Okay, so the next question is, what is preventing you from having what you dream? You know, really, what is it? Think about that for a minute. And the quote that I have here is from a Pulitzer Prize winner, Anna Quinlan. And she says, the thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning to work on becoming yourself. So I found that really meaningful. I in no way think that I'm not perfect. I am perfect. That's not true. I expected some laughter. Okay, so I in no way think that I'm perfect. You know, and I know Patricia talks all the time about we are perfect. We are perfect in where we are right now. And I know that's true. I know that's true, but I don't know that's true, right? And knowing it here is when it actually begins to flow through your life, because you are then acting on the fact that you are perfect. You know that you are God. You know that you and everyone else is connected, and that we are all one, and that I can choose and make choices and flow through my life in a gentle and kind way, even though there'll be obstacles along the way, in a perfect place. But that is a hard thing to really own, right? Own in a heart level. So think about that. You know, we have a clock here that's got a second, so I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Think about that. What is preventing you from having what you dream? Okay, does anybody have any examples that they want to share? Yes.
I can either be my own worst enemy or my own best friend, so it's usually me.
Uh-huh. And do you have like an underlying cause in your mind? Do you know, not that you have to share it, but do you know the root cause of that for you?
The upbringing I had, the church upbringing I had, you are guilty, you are guilty, you are guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yes, that's damaged a lot of people, actually, you know, which is too bad, because that isn't, at least in my belief system, why we're here. Somebody over here? Yes.
Well, my answer is that really nothing that's keeping me from getting what I want. But when there is something, it's fear, and fear of exposure. You know, fear, sort of what the Anna Quinlan quote was about, exposing imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
And my upbringing was the opposite of that, which was that it's not okay to be this. You have to be intellectual, and you have to be spiritual. It's silly.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's to embrace that part of myself has been really exposing myself, which seems a little odd, I know, but that's, so yeah, just recently it's been, nothing is real.
Well, that's wonderful that you've gotten to that place.
Well, not every minute.
Yeah.
But the understanding that
Yes.
really, nothing meaning it's me, which is,
Yes. Well, I can really relate to that, because I also have fear about being exposed. And, you know, I have a little company that really hasn't done anything in quite a long time called Evolve Your Life. And part of my issue is that how can I, who am overweight, therefore not perfect, actually go out and talk to people about how they can evolve their lives when I can't even evolve my weight, you know? So I so completely understand that. But it is a dream that I have, that I know that I'm actually here to do, and part of my assignment for truly my choice. Part of my choice in coming here is to provide assistance to people and to help people heal and to help people evolve their lives. And yet, and so I have this fear, and then on the other side I have this tremendous guilt, because I've known that I should do this for several years now, and yet have I gotten out to do it? No. So, you know, the guilt then, you know, comes up.
But that's a good point. I'm sorry, if you don't mind if I say this,
Uh-uh.
if I talk about that just a moment, because this is a huge thing for me too. I mean, here I am, I write these songs. I write these amazing songs, and yet who gets to hear them? Yeah, well, you all do, yes. But so I've been struggling with that for a long time, because logically I look at that and I think, well, you know, why those songs should be able to generate income for me. Passive income that I don't even have to think about. You know, let other people sing them and whatnot. But so I've been looking at that. What is it within me that's blocking that? Well, it's pretty simple. It's the belief that I'm not good enough and that I don't deserve to have that. But the truth is that right in this moment, I am good enough. You're good enough. You are perfect. You are whole. We are all whole and complete. But we forget that. We're not remembering that. And that we have to remember that.
We do, and it's hard because the world is all about pointing out what's wrong with you, right?
Yes.
If you watch TV for 2 seconds, there's some pill out there that's pointing out what's wrong with you and why you need to have the pill. There's, there's all of this
4,000
media
side
that's
effects
talking
that will kill
about
you,
why
but it's
we
okay.
aren't perfect. And so it is hard to stay in that place of being heart-centered and filled with love and
Turn it off. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Turn off the TV.
turn it off, exactly.
Turn off
Yes.
the TV.
Yes, yes. All right, so my next question is, why do we replay over and over and over again past mistakes and missed opportunities only to feel shame and guilt and worthlessness? So that was similar, it's exactly what we were just talking about. Why do we do that?
Because it supports the belief that I'm not good enough.
Right, so it keeps us in that state, right? We're comfortable here. This is not the right thing. We know it isn't right for us, but yet we know what it's like being in this state. And so here we're going to stand because it's comfortable. Yes, instead of letting it go and not, saying, I know that I'm perfect in this moment. I know that when it's time for me to do whatever my next thing is, the perfect opportunity is going to show up. I will either, right, release the limiting belief that I am not worthy enough to do something, and an opportunity will show up that will allow me to do what I'm really here to do. But yet, we kind of stay in this safety, comfort zone place. Which is okay. I'm certainly not judging that. Goodness knows I'm in it, more than I wish I was, but it's what we do, right? So part of what we're talking about today is just to try to bring this to some of our awareness so that as we notice, and because that's the other thing, we get into we have opportunities, I believe, all of us, to have something called second attention awareness. And that is really a fleeting thought that crosses your mind about something. And if we hang on to it, then we have an opportunity to change what's going on in our lives. Because it's Spirit's way of communicating with us. And the reason we call it second attention awareness is because it's really this quick kind of thought that crosses your mind. And sometimes you think, where did that come from? And maybe it's different than the kind of thought that you normally have. But grabbing onto it and thinking about it and listening to what that thought was opens us up for the opportunity to move forward into what it is that we're wanting in life or that we're dreaming about having in life. So, let's see. The next one. Oh, how funny. I had the same quote from Anna Quinlan on my question 2 and question 3. Which again was, the thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning to work on becoming yourself. So, all right, question number 4. Why do we care what others think about us so much? So much, in fact, that we let their opinions of us supersede what we think of ourselves. So, think about that for a moment. And that, some of these things may not be true for folks in here. Some of them or all of them. Forget past mistakes and forget failures. Forget everything except what you are going to do now and do it. This is from William J. Durant, who was a rags to riches gentleman. He died in, I think, 2009 or something. Sorry, wrong guy. It is William Durant. But this William Durant, he was a writer. He wrote an 11-volume set that was critically acclaimed on the story of civilization. So he was researching all of these vast civilizations, over time that we're aware of. And this is something that he came up with as part of that, right? Forget past mistakes and forget failures. Where is it that you want to go from here? So why do we care what other people think about us so much? So let me ask this question. How many of you actually care what other people think about you? Okay, and how many of you don't care?
Well, I also
Okay.
don't care.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay, yes. But is there at least one person in your life that you care what they think about you? Okay,
Apparently.
okay.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because
Me, I care about what I think of myself. I don't care
Right.
about anybody else's thoughts.
But you don't care what about anybody else thinks about you?
Not too much, no.
Okay, so for those of us who care about what somebody else thinks about us, why do we care?
because we don't think we're perfect.
And,
Because we don't know that, we want everybody out here to remind us. Because we're not reminding ourselves. So we're looking for it out here. I'm looking for other people to validate me
mhm,
rather than validating myself.
mhm.
For me, it's, feeling that I'm unlovable. If somebody doesn't like me, it's because I'm unlovable.
And you know what's so interesting about that, and I fully can embody both of those things that we just talked about, is, and maybe it's just because it's the human experience, and I've had lots of opportunities to have the human experience in my 51 years. But what's interesting is that we really don't know what somebody else really thinks about us, right? So how many times have we, encountered people in our lives or people that have been in our lives that we thought that they really liked us and that we really got along and whatever, and then you find out that, you really don't. Or the opposite, somebody that's in your life that seems to be, hard-nosed bear, and, you're constantly pushing against them, and then all of a sudden, you realize, oh, wait a minute, we've got so much in common. So it is hard to step away from what other people think of you. But it isn't impossible. I mean, obviously it's not impossible because half of the room raised their hands and said that they don't care what other people think about them.
I'd like to know why. I'd like to hear from some of the people too who don't care what other people think about them. I'd like to know.
So why don't you care?
Well, you always hear from me. I mean, I'm happy to share that. I don't care what people think about me. It's none of my business because I can't manage that. I can't manage people's emotions or perceptions or any of those things. And so, I used to care a lot. I used to obsess about that. And that caused me so much misery. And you just can't make everybody happy. So, it made me happy to stop worrying about it. I mean, I have a little saying. It's just silly, but, they're not tucking me in bed, they're not kissing my forehead at night, and they're not paying my bills. So they're not meeting any of those criteria, right? They're not, and Bruce does those things for me, but, I care about him, but I don't care what he thinks.
Is he here?
He was supposed to be upstairs.
I thought I was safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the sign of a perfect marriage right there. But it is, I mean, really, I was just kidding with that. Thank you so much. Cindy?
I also used to care. I spent my whole life caring, so much that I would mirror other people where I didn't have an identity. And I woke up one day realizing that I had no identity, and then who was I and what was I going to do? And at that point I started defining who I was. But there were some also things that happened in my life, like parent death and that sort of thing, that also propelled me into that. So yeah, I'm now at a point where I care about what I think, and I care about people, but I really don't care what they think about me.
So I had an experience, I'm going to ask for another example of somebody who is in that place of not caring. I had an experience recently where something was really negative, and I was very upset by somebody else's opinion of me. This is work related. Very upset about it. And I found it to be really interesting because in the moment when I was hearing it, what I felt like was that some of the comments were valid comments, but the sort of categorization of them was invalid. So the comment versus the categorization did not match. And so I, was upset about it, and I was flying home. And I turned on some meditation music in my iPod, or my phone really, and sat there and ended up kind of going to sleep. But I don't think I went to sleep. I think I went into some kind of meditation. And every time I would wake up with a little piece of information in relation to that, which was like the coolest thing, because this has never happened to me before like this. And so I did that 3 times. By the third time, I realized that that was somebody else's opinion, and they're welcome to have their opinion, but I wasn't going to buy into it. That I will take the comments, and I will make changes where changes need to be made, but somebody else's opinion of me, so that's the categorization piece, that's too bad. It's too bad that that's the opinion that they have and that they chose to see, but there's nothing I can do about it. Absolutely nothing, and it doesn't matter. And so I walked off of that plane feeling completely free from that, completely free of any trauma from that experience, which was really wonderful. So I walked off feeling very empowered. And I will say, since that time, and it's only been a couple of months, I think, since that time, I have really just, I don't care. I don't care what people think. If you have a comment, give me the comment. I'll pay attention to it. If there's something that I need to do about it, I'll be happy to do it. But if there's not, then I don't care. And if you're not willing to tell me something that you want me to do differently, then I can't know. I mean, sometimes I can know, but really, everybody has a responsibility to speak up with each other, and sometimes we don't, because we don't want to have a confrontation or, whatever it is. But there's 2 sides to that conversation. So anyway, so that was my experience in getting to, I think, the place of where I don't really care what people think about me. So again, now here I am, 51. This just happened a couple of months ago. So, there's lots of hope and up. So who else? Yes.
No one loves me like I love me. And I think that this existence is raw enough that my shoulders are not big enough to carry what other people have to think. So it took a long time. I mean, I have a story like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I cared, and it hurt, and it sucked, and it was just raw all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I woke up, and that's the truth. No one loves me like I love me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that everybody should feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that everybody gets to that point.
Mm-hmm. Me too, because that's the place. I mean, that's really where we want to find ourselves. That's really part of why we're here, right, to experience that. Philip, you had something.
To me, it's about judgment. When somebody says something to you, they're judging you, and I'm doing my damnedest not to judge anybody or anything, so I don't need that either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, putting those boundaries around those things. So here is another poem so the first one was from Hafiz-e Shirazi, who was a 14th century mystic and Sufi poet. And he also wrote this other poem, and it's called If You Don't Stop That. I used to live in a cramped house with confusion and pain, but then I met a friend and started getting drunk and singing all night. Confusion and pain started acting nasty, like they weren't acting nasty before. Anyway, making threats with talk like this. If you don't stop that, all that fun, we're leaving. Exactly. Yeah. Good riddance to you. So have fun. It's the key to that poem, right? Have fun. So one of the things that I have experienced, again, in my life is hanging on to things that with as tightly as I could possibly hang on to them, things that I really should let go. And, there's this battle for me between those things that I think are part of my path and I'm hanging on to because I think I'm supposed to be learning something from this. I think it's supposed to be helping me get along my path, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm hanging on to them when in fact the thing to do is to let them go. Right? Just open your hands and let them go and not hang on so tightly to them. So I don't know if my experience is the same as other people's experience with that. But letting go gives us an opportunity to find peace and happiness. So things that we want to and need to let go of that we're hanging on to just so tightly, are keeping us from being peaceful and happy in our lives. And I don't really know why we do that unless, again, can I get your help up here? We're going to pass out 2 cards and pens so people can write. There's 2 in a thing. Huh? Yeah, just hand everybody one of these and then a pen. Okay, because there's 2 cards in the thing. Yeah, so I twisted them so it's 2 like that. Did you get 2? There you go. Okay. So when you get your card and your pen, what I'd like for you to do is to write at the top of the card either let go or sweet surrender. I've got more up here, Bruce. More pens. Or something else. So we're going to write something. So this card is about letting go of something. I don't know how many more you need. So write that at the top of your card. And you can think about, while we're having the song and prep for prayer meditation, I was trying to see if there was a special word for that. You can think about what it is that you want to let go. And then I want you to write that down as you're thinking about it. I would just encourage you to wait for a minute as the music starts, to let kind of spirit flow into you what it is that's in your highest and best good to let go. has everybody written, whoops, has everybody written on their card what they're wanting to let go? Okay, if so, fold it in half. Send it down to the end, the aisle end.
Excuse me, I'm seeing now.
So we're just waiting for 2 more people. Okay, do I have everybody's? Okay, so I'm going to put all the things that we want to let go into this. Let's see that little light in there, which you may not see. Let's see it as a fire. And what we're going to do is everybody is going to put your hands up, directing it to this pot. And we're going to see all of these things for each other and ourselves. Did I get yours? For each other and ourselves. And we are going to burn this. Okay, everybody ready? When that feels done for you, you can put your hands down and open your eyes. Okay, now on your other piece of paper, I want you to write at the top of it, I allow or I receive. And I would like for you to write down what it is that you would like to bring forth. Because if there is a void, something needs to fill the void. And I think it would be best if we are mindful about what it is that we are filling, that what we've just let go, with now what we're wanting to bring in. still need more time? Okay, then again, please fold it up. Pass it to the ends, to the aisle ends. All right, do I have everybody's that wants to participate? Okay, so I want to say, and I should have last time, that this pot is fired with incredibly hot heat, and I was inspired to bring it today, I think because of the colors, and kind of representing, I guess, the universe and the sea of the divine creator. So we use the sea of the divine creator to remove those things that we want to let go. And now, because we have a vacuum, a perfect void in us for that which has been let go, we want to put in that which we now want to bring into our lives. And so, as with last time, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to invite you to hold your hands up, point them toward our representation of the sea of the divine creator. Open your heart and allow the love to flow into this pot to create for ourselves and each other all that we wish to come forward now into our lives to fill this void that we just created. And again, when that feels complete for you, you put your hands down and open your eyes. So I felt tremendous love with that. So much so that I had to kind of stop myself from crying because I would have been a blubbering idiot. But I want to thank each and every one of you for having the courage to let go of something, because it's at times very difficult. And then to have the courage to say, this is what I want, this is what I want to receive, this is now what I want to have in my life. So thank you all very much. Spirit, thank you so much for bringing us together and giving us the opportunity to let go of something that we have been holding on to, and to call forth into our lives something that we have been desiring or dreaming about. We are so grateful for this opportunity to be together, and we are so blessed to know who we are. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.